Well, I guess I got lucky here, deciding to go through the Eterna entrance instead of the Celestic one, because otherwise I might have missed on this rock polish DM. Not that it really matters. I don't have any use for it anyway, but I would have gotten endless comments telling me about it. So yeah, good thing I actually got it. So right now we're making our way to Route 216. So hopefully we're going to be seeing some snow today. And no, I'm not talking about real life. I know some of you are sick of snow, but as far as I'm concerned, actually, this winter isn't so bad. It's a relatively warm winter with not a whole lot of snow, so yeah, it could be a lot worse. But first, we're going to have to go through a room that has an underground lake of sorts, and that underground lake is the only place in the entire game where you can find Feebas. And if you remember how much of a pain in the ass it was to find an emerald, then it's even worse here. And just to give you an idea, in Emerald, I found a shiny Magikarp before I found the Feebas. And even there, the search wasn't all that long. I lucked out, really, by finding that Feebas so quickly. Well, it could have gone a lot quicker, but I'll take what I did, thank you very much. But here, it's a lot worse, because there are two reasons, in fact. In Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, you had 6 Feebas tiles out of 400. In this game, you have 4 out of 800. So, basically, it's 3 to 4 times as rare as it was in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. So, good fucking luck finding one. You're gonna need it. And the second reason why it's harder is because in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, it was found in a river that was rather narrow, but very long. Still, it allowed you to easily keep track of where you'd attempted to fish for a Feebas. Here, though, we're talking about an underground lake. This means it's a lot larger than it used to be in Generation 3. And yeah, there's fog here too, so I'm going to have to defog the whole place first. Not mandatory, but strongly required, because beyond Feebas, which I won't be hunting for, I'll come back to that later, by the way. Besides Feebas, there's also a lot of loot to find in this room, so we're going to be spending a bit of time here. But hopefully we can get out of Mount Coronet and into the northern section of the map before time runs out in this video. But as I was saying, the fact that it's a lake instead of a river means that it's a lot harder to track where you've been and where you've tried to fish for a Feebas. And on top of that, there are those rocks everywhere that they make it even harder to keep track of where you've been. You can see one right there. And so, yeah, it's a real pain in the ass, so I'm not even going to bother this time. But something I am going to admit is that when I first went over my options for team members for this LP, Milotic was actually my first choice as far as water types went. It could put stuff to sleep in Hypnosis, it had a Recover. Hell, you already know that because I used one in Emerald, so you should already know what it's capable of. But I decided, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to try fishing for Feebas when it was already such hell in Emerald, Soft Sand. Well, tough luck. Oh no, did I just lock myself in there? Well, thanks, Random Battle, for breaking this little thing I had going on here. But no, I can't really trap myself in there, can I? I mean, why would they ever do something like that? It's not. No, I think if I push the boulder all the way down, I might be able to get out of here, because it would really suck if you were able to get yourself stuck in a place and you couldn't get out other than by an escape rope. And assuming that you have an escape rope, well, is not always the best thing to do. But anyway, I was able to get out. But yeah, I was not about to go through that hell to try and find a Feebas again. Even though, as I said, it went sort of quicker than I expected in Emerald. Here, it could be a lot more painful for reasons that I've already enumerated. So, no, I decided to say, screw that! I'm gonna go for the next best option, which just so happened to be Vaporeon. So, here, I just gave you a little insight into the thought process that went into making my team for this LP. And as a matter of fact, I've already started thinking if I do a Soul Silver LP, and I don't want to confirm it just yet because I don't think we're even halfway through this LP, and if I say I'm going to do it, then I'm going to be forced to do it all the way through. And, okay, just give me a second there. Oh, you can push that boulder. I apologize for that, because in this game, it's a lot harder to make out what's a strength boulder and what isn't compared to previous games, because it sticks out a lot less. In previous games, you could easily tell which boulders you could push because they stuck out like a sore thumb. Here, it's a bit more complicated because there are several types of rocks, and it's not always easy to exactly make out what is, What?! No, you can't be serious, game! I took one step and immediately another random battle? Seriously? Seriously, game, you're gonna pull that crap with me? In a room that's already very, very big and full of items that I gotta pick up, else I'm gonna get an unending wave of comments about it? God! Well, hopefully, I guess, Karma's gonna be with me this time around, and it's gonna take a little while before the next random encounter. Yeah, I made it far enough between those two random encounters, at least. Sort of makes up for the one-step thing. I didn't think it was possible. Actually, it probably is possible. In fact, it definitely is, because you just saw it happen. But I figured the odds would be so low that it would never ever happen to me. But, of course, never say never. Anyway, as I was saying, I've already started to think of what kind of Pokemon I could use for an eventual Soul Silver LP. And the fun thing about the U-turn TM that I found in Canalave is that, to be honest, I didn't know it was there until someone tipped me off about it. I think it was in the... What?! No! Oh, God! Well, at least Lucario's a steel type, so it probably won't kill it. Okay, 44 damage, I can deal with that, but... The fact is that survived an Ice Punch from Lucario. Now, it was probably my fault for not thinking, oh, Rock type? Gonna use Aura Sphere. I don't know what I was thinking there. Maybe I was trying to conserve, the PP for Aura Sphere, like I've been doing since the beginning of this video, because you never know when you're going to need your most powerful move, especially when a lot of the Pokemon you meet are weak ones, like level 3 Metatites and stuff, but it survived an Ice Punch off 110 base attack. Now, I know it's 75 power and no stab, and Graveler has pretty decent defense, but still... It's freaking super effective and with a massive level advantage on top of that. Wow! And by the way, no, this isn't Lucario's fault at all, because it seems like I've been complaining about Lucario being too weak a lot lately. Sorry, my mind has been corrupted by this stupid Feebas Lake here. But anyway, oh God. Now this mix-up completely caused me to forget what I was talking about in the first place. Anyway, Light Clay here, it's a pretty neat item. What it does is that it increases the duration of Reflect and Light Screen from a Pokemon holding it from 5 to 8 turns, which for dual screeners is a godsend. So you find it a lot on stuff like, I don't know, Emerald Deoxys or whatever your favorite dual screener is. But as I was trying to say before, had I known that U-turn TM was there in Canalave right from the start, then my planned team might have been a little different. Like, one of the team members I have right now may have been axed in favor of a U-turn TM. Since Scizor isn't an option, I would probably have let myself get tempted by Crobat, which can actually get Hypnosis through breeding, so it would have solved that whole sleeper problem. But now it's too late for that, and even if it wasn't, Crobat would have simply found itself in competition with the team members I'm using right now. It wouldn't have been guaranteed a team slot. And right now I'm just backtracking to Celestic to heal myself because I've spent quite a lot of time battling those wild Pokemon, so my PP is getting a little low, and I want to have as much as possible for when I actually get to Route 216 because Lucario is still lagging behind the others in terms of levels, so I want to keep fighting with it as much as possible until it finally catches up. And the reason why I was mentioning Crobat in particular as opposed to others is because I've started to look at my options for an eventual Soul Silver LP, even though, as I said earlier, I'm not going to announce it just yet. But I've been thinking about it, and maybe I'll let myself get tempted by Crobat there, because it could have a Hypnosis, it could have U-turn, and then it could use Fly and something else. Maybe, I don't know, Cross Poison, though that would not be a very good idea because Poison and Flying are very redundant types, and naturally it would be Poison that gets to sit that one out because Flying is just a lot better than Poison is offensively. So I guess Roost is also an option, and let's just set the record straight here. I have no official planned team just yet for Soul Silver. I'm still looking at the many options that I have. There are some people who assume that I'm going to go with Typhlosion again for a starter, but that is by no means a guarantee. I could still go with Meganium. For Alligator, probably not, because Lapras would be my first choice long before for Alligator if I decide to use a water type. And as for Suicune, obviously some of you may have thought of it, but it's not an option for the regular game. It's only found in the post-game because it's in Kanto now, so as I said, that's not an option. So that's basically some insight into the thought process that goes into building teams. I always try to assemble, well, maybe not the best team possible, but something close to it. I like to use good Pokemon, and even though I showed myself open to using Meganium as a starter, that doesn't mean that I'm going to ditch it part of the way through. That doesn't mean I'm going to choose it either. But if I do pick Meganium, and the reason why I'm open to using it is because I already thought out of something that could actually make it bearable, at least. And as far as, this whole best possible team thing is, I don't think there is one universal best team. You just pick Pokemon that you're comfortable with. Like, for example, it's no secret that I like the defensive ones better. Thanks for stalling, Meditite. But yeah, don't ask what my plan team is. Oh, come on! Just stop doing that, will ya? Yeah, as I was saying, don't ask what my plan team is, because there is none at the moment. Just a short list of Pokemon that I could potentially use. And don't answer that question if it's asked either. Like, don't say, oh, he's gonna use this and that, because I have decided absolutely nothing yet. So, thanks for not spreading any rumors. Anyway, this video is almost over, and we still haven't gotten anywhere close to Route 216. Though at least I cleared out the underground lake room, so it shouldn't be long before we actually see some snow now. So next time on Pokemon Platinum, we're actually going to get to the Great White North.